Hey guys, so for this week I had to read the article by Campbell, Thompson, and Barrett. And in this article, it first starts out with a guy named Joseph Schwab and how he states that teachers are curriculum makers and curriculum inquirers, meaning that this that teachers should be the student of teaching instead of just giving knowledge to somebody. So when I think about that, I think of like students shouldn't just give a lesson. They shouldn't just teach students how to do something. They should also be the teacher should also be the student in the fact that they have to learn how to teach these things and how to get these things across to these students in a way that they can actually comprehend it, in a way that they can learn it, because everybody has different learning styles. The article then continues to state that a good curriculum, is composed of documents, which are goals or standards that the teacher hopes to achieve with the students, planned activities and lessons, major topics and ideas, and outcomes that are to be measured. So, like assessments or tests, or like certain goals they want them to reach, and that they can measure them so that way they know that they are reached. It continues on where Martina L. Miranda, Janet Robbins, and Sandra L. Stauffer conducted an experiment to see if ethnographic research was effective in aiding students in music teacher preparation courses to become more sophisticated in the students' understanding of the music learning process. So, to summarize all that, it was basically they just conducted an experiment where they're actually teachers, so they taught a music course on like how to teach elementary music, and basically they wanted to see if so an ethnographic research. So basically, if doing research about the students would help them teach them later on in the course. And so at the end of the course, the students wrote reflections about the course and how they felt about the course, and the data confirmed that the students' reflections about the teacher, students, and the content focused on four main themes. So these four themes were respect and relationships, motivation and management, amazement of children's capabilities, and organization or delivery of content. So when these students wrote these reflections, they focused on the respect and relationships that they made with the students in the classrooms, the motivation and management that was created through the lessons, the amazement of the children's capabilities, so they were surprised with, the students and how musically inclined they were, and organization and delivery of content, so basically just how the content was presented, how the lesson was given. And they also learned that the students in this course acquired a certain new level of self-efficacy in being able to teach music in elementary students. So self-efficacy is just like how well you think you do at something. So after this course was taken, these students were more confident in themselves and realized that they have the ability to teach elementary music to students. And a comprehensive music curriculum is a variety of ways to encounter and experience music. It addresses the elements and forms of music. Sorry, I kind of skipped around, but next in the article it talks about kind of just the different key elements in a good curriculum. So it has to be comprehensive, meaning that there needs to be a variety of ways to experience this music, and it addresses the elements and forms of music. So the elements being like a timbre or melody or harmony, things like that we've learned in texture and all that different stuff. A good curriculum also needs to have balance, which in the article states that it requires wisdom and care. That's all it really states about balance. There also needs to be sequential. So a sequential music curriculum is just basically like a development of key skills, but in a systematic way that also supports the student's musical development. Knowing about a child's musical capabilities, sensitivity to the child, musical considerations on how sophisticated the music should be. So basically just kind of knowing about the background of the child and like knowing what they can and can't handle, that's a really good thing to have in a good solid curriculum. The last part of a good curriculum is relevance. So basically relevance bridges the gap between the music encountered inside the school or inside the classroom versus outside the classroom, or even like when the student continues on and isn't enrolled in the class anymore. So I had a few discussion questions for this week. So I have 3. And one of them was out of the 4 objectives used to describe the key elements of a good curriculum, which were comprehensive, balanced, sequential, and relevant. Which element do you believe is the most important to have in a musical curriculum and why? My second question is, what does Joseph Schwab actually mean when he says teachers should be a student of teaching instead of a person who instructs students in lessons and about something? The third question is, why do you think that Martina L. Miranda, Janet Robbins, and Sandra L. Stauffer found that after taking the music course they taught, students found a new level of self-efficacy to be able to teach music in the elementary school? Or in other words, what factors did these people probably have or use in the classroom that made the students successful and confident? Thanks.